in addition to the nation, effectively saying this. I thought it was an interesting approach that he took, rather than sort of going on screeds like he does on Truth Social. It was more of a presidential speech, including framing of the 2024 race between him and Biden. And I thought, for Trump's purposes, he struck the right tone and offered the right frame.
Our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. There will be no defeat like that. That will take us away from being even a great power. If you took the 5 worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as Joe Biden and the Biden administration have done. Incredibly, we are now a failing nation. We are a nation in decline. And now these radical left lunatics want to interfere with our elections by using law enforcement. We can't let that happen. With all of this being said, and with a very dark cloud over our beloved country, I have no doubt, nevertheless, that we will make America great again. Thank you very much.
So 2 things he did there that I think were shrewd. One is he's jujitsuing the catchphrase of the left, election interference, onto them. And 2, those remarks, particularly that passage, was about the American people and their interests, financial and cultural, financial and otherwise. Not simply him gourding his own axe with respect to the people that are prosecuting/persecuting him, and so on and so forth. That's what a presidential candidate should sound like.
Well, he had the world's attention. I mean, I can't remember the last time CNN even wanted to go into Mar-a-Lago to watch a speech that he gave. And everybody was there. And that was presidential. That was great. But then
I had no idea CNN was still broadcasting. Oh.
And a few minutes later, he talked about the judge and the judge's wife and the family and how they're anti-Trumpers. I would have left that out.
Well,
there's no need. People can find that out on their own. I understand he's upset, but he should have just stayed on topic, talking about inflation, rising crime, how he can save America.
Has there ever been any litigation that Trump has been involved in where he did not go after the judge? I mean, it's just Trump being Trump. I'm not saying it's judicious. I'm just saying that's just what he does.
And he does have 3 other criminal investigations still pending.
For more on all this, pleased to be joined by our friend Steve Moore, economist, author of Govzilla. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, guys. And I do want to talk about Trump, but look, I'm mad at you guys. I'm mad at you. I mean, I'm saying that last night was the night Chicago died, and I don't understand what happened. And I think it's such a tragedy for a great, great city that I love, love, love. And I don't understand how people could vote for a radical Marxist to be their mayor. And I got to tell you, people around the country, that's all they're talking about. What the hell happened in Chicago?
No, they should listen to this show. They would have known weeks in advance. Yeah, I mean, Steve. Steve, I mean, you understand this, so tell all your friends on the cocktail party circuit. It's a simple proposition. Okay, if you turn your city and state over to the public sector unions, this is what happens.
Right.
And this is what happened.
Well, exactly. But Dan and Amy, this basically what I wrote in our outline this morning, and we're just sending it out now, is the city of Chicago is now a wholly owned subsidiary of the teachers' unions. Mm-hmm. And the teachers' unions are the problem in the city. So I don't understand why people, because even, some of it, look, I do hang out with Republicans, but believe it or not, I do have some Democratic friends. I do have, friends who are more independent and centrist. And they're just flabbergasted by this, the stupidity.
Well, there's going to be there's no expansion of charter schools. There's going to be no school choice. Business owners will be leaving. Hotels are
Yes.
going to have to lay off employees because he wants to double the hotel motel tax. I mean,
Yes.
but
Well,
it's for the greater good. We're all together. We love everybody.
Well, over a shrimp cocktail, tell those same friends that are center to center left, Steve, that here's who your Democrat Socialist Party is in 2023 America.
Yep,
So
that's so true.
take a good hard look at it.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Now, let me say something about Trump. Okay, so I was listening to your guys' conversation, and Amy, you just said one thing that I'll disagree with. You said that I know that Trump is angry. He isn't angry. He's loving life right now. I mean,
Well,
this is
yeah.
the best thing that's happened to Trump in 2 years. The you want to talk about maybe something even stupider than electing Brandon Johnson to mayor is this idiotic, crazy, lunatic indictment of Trump, which is only playing into his hands. When I worked for Trump in 2016, one of the things I just marveled at was how he just flattened the rest of the field, the Jeb Bushes and, solid candidates by simply just totally dominating the news cycle from the moment he, came down on that escalator on Fifth Avenue in Trump Tower to the moment he was elected. Every single day, every news story was about Trump, 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 Trump. Well, what is everybody talking about right now? Trump, Trump, Trump. He is loving it. It's almost like the left has fallen into his trap. They can't stop themselves. They are so obsessed with anti-Trump hysteria that they are almost ensuring that he is going to be the Republican nominee. They've actually managed to turn him into a sympathetic figure because everyone knows this is the craziest thing. Look, he may have violated these campaign finance laws. I don't know the facts of the case. But okay, fine, slap him with a $2 million fine. This is an amazing story of how the left cannot control themselves. And I was saying one other quick thing. After 2 years, the first 2 years of the Trump presidency was totally dominated by Democrats and the media talking about one story. Remember what that was, Dan? It was the Russia collusion hoax. That's all they talked about for 2 years. Every night. I was on CNN. Every night they talked about the Russian collusion story, which everyone knows turned out to be a completely fabricated lie. Do you recall the media ever apologizing to Trump for that?
Yeah, right. Media apologizing. That's funny.
No, but I mean, the point is that they are. And one other quick point. The thing that is so sinister and devious about this, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or not, the weaponization of our justice system is really dangerous to the future of this country.
Do you think? I mean, since you're close to DeSantis as well, I know he's going to run, and I know that this is all in the works and probably a spring announcement. But does this change his calculus at all? Because now you're talking about not just a crowded field, but a crowded field that you're trending towards the rest of the field, not in the direction of Trump, because now it's Trump versus all these prosecutors that are persecuting him.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, DeSantis is a big loser here in the sense that, it's going to be difficult for him to get a word in edgewise. And, in the last 3 weeks or so, Trump's numbers are skyrocketing upward, and DeSantis' numbers have actually started to fall. So whether Ron DeSantis will get in this race. He's got a lot of money. He's got several $100 million because he is for those Republicans who are anti-Trumpers, he's their guy. But it's going to be tough for DeSantis at this point because.
I also, sorry to interrupt, but I also think there's a lot of people backing DeSantis right now who previously backed Trump, and they're not never Trumpers, but they don't think Trump can win. And I wonder, from the people that you talk to, if what's happening now is starting to change their belief as to whether or not Trump could win a general election if he were the nominee.
That's an interesting question, Dan, because I do talk to a lot of major Republican donors, and I have noted a slight from 2 months ago. The entire kind of establishment, even large conservative donors, were basically stop Trump at all costs. Right? That was Trump is a disaster. This was true of the Koch network. It was true at the Club for Growth meeting, and so on. The whole focus of those meetings was stop Trump. Find anybody who can stop Trump. And they all rallied around DeSantis. I'm starting to get calls from some of those same donors saying, well, maybe, they're kind of, they see what's going on, and everybody's outraged by it. And that's my point, is the left has somehow turned Trump into a sympathetic figure. Now, my question for you, Amy and Dan, is this some kind of Machiavellian ploy by the left to ensure that Trump is going to be the nominee? I mean, are they that? Maybe I'm the one who's stupid and I don't see their grand plan. Because if their plan is to make Trump the Republican nominee, it's working.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's their plan. They want him. If this doesn't stick, there's 3 other criminal investigations that are still pending that they think that they'll get him on.
It is so obviously their plan. It is.
Now,
there's not even a scintilla of doubt that they want Trump to be the nominee. Whether he's acquitted or convicted doesn't matter. This serves the interests of Alvin Bragg and the prosecutors to follow that are investigating Trump. They get to be celebrities within the left's circles and level up their political aspirations. And they absolutely believe. I mean, this is not even a question. They believe that Trump is the weakest nominee, especially compared to DeSantis, that the Republican Party could put up. They think they know how to beat him, particularly with mail-in balloting, and they absolutely want him to be the nominee.
Yeah. So you think that this is all a master plan?
Yeah, it's not much of a master plan. I mean, it's so transparent, but I mean, yes, that's what they want. I mean, they're about this close from shouting it from the Empire State Building. I mean, good grief.
Right. Well, the thing that's I find kind of interesting about this is if I was advising Joe Biden, which of course I am not, but if I were his political advisor, you know what I'd tell him to do?
What?
I would issue a blanket pardon to Trump.
You can't pardon him for state level crimes.
Yes, he can't?
No, federal crimes.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
Are you sure? I'm going to look that up, Dan.
I'm positive. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
this is a state crime, but we don't know who the victim is. We don't know what the crime is. And that
Exactly.
16-page gobbledygook that I read yesterday, like, what is? And the count 8, they were talking about the Access Hollywood tape, and it's such old news, and that's not a white collar crime.
They should indict Billy Bush too.
It was all litigated, and it was all litigated back in the 2016 election. So here we are, 6 years later, still talking about this. Look, I'm not telling you that Trump is unstoppable. I think it may well be that Trump is not someone who can get elected again because the independents don't like Trump, but. Boy, it's bad for the country. That's the other thing. This is a bad.
Oh yeah, remember the country? Yeah, right. I almost forgot about the country.
Oh, by the way, remember when Joe Biden said we're all going to unify? It's time for unity.
That's like fun. Well, Brandon Johnson said the same thing yesterday. If you didn't vote for me, I want you to know that I care about you. Oh, okay. I can't wait to see how much he cares about the Paul Vallis supporters.
Wait, who said that?
Brandon Johnson.
Brandon Johnson
victory speech.
That's a good thing to say.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Post victory
we lost
unity.
In Wisconsin too. Wisconsin's gone. Here's the problem. What's going on in America is these blue states and blue cities are becoming even bluer and even more radical, and it's just chasing more and more people out. The new county data came out just a few days ago from the Census Bureau. You know what one of the biggest loser county was?
The highest per capita for any large county, meaning more than 1 million people. The highest per capita loss, Cook County.
Yeah, Cook County. And New York wasn't far behind. And by the way, San Francisco.
L.A. County.
Portland. Yeah, Portland. People are leaving Portland. People are losing Seattle. They're leaving San Francisco. They're leaving Chicago. They're leaving New York. I mean, it's like a contamination that's going on in our great cities of America. It's heartbreaking.
Steve Moore, economist.
You said that you were going to stop this.
No, I didn't.
You guys
I didn't. I said Brandon Johnson was going to win. Yeah, that's what I actually said.
I thought Paul Vallis was going to win, but I'm still licking my wounds this morning, and I'm in shock, and I'll be angry later.
I think that's the way everybody is. Even non-Chicagoans, people are in shock. And, look, the point is that if the city doesn't want to save itself, then how can we save it?
You can't. Go have a gin fizz and relax, Steve. You've done what you can do. Steve Moore, economist, Gubzilla authors. Thanks, Steve.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you're selling your home or purchasing a new home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Team Hochberg is offering every listener the Perks at Work benefit, which can save you thousands of dollars on your next real estate transaction. Here's how it works. When a Team Hochberg affiliated realtor sells your home, they'll reduce their fee up to 1%. When a Team Hochberg affiliated realtor helps you purchase a home, you will receive up to 1% of their commission in the form of a closing cost credit. Team Hochberg will credit